All right, hello everyone. My name is George. I'm a program assistant on the Google Cloud, Google Africa Scholarship Program, GADS 2022. Uh, we've moved into phase two, and phase two, in my opinion, comes with a lot of goodies. We have content that is far, far more curated and designed towards the exam. I believe if you take your time to walk through each of the modules, uh, you would definitely be prepared to take the exam. Okay, so I'm looking at networking in Google Cloud hands-on practice. This is after you've watched the network module. This is in deep dive. Okay, so here we have a lot of labs. The first lab we're meeting here is configuring networks via gcloud. Okay, so today I'll be working with I'll be working with my PowerShell. So let me switch off my notifications first of all. Sorry about that. Notifications are off. All right. Okay, so I'll be using my PowerShell to do a lot today. Uh, First of all, we start the lab in a private window or incognito window, depending on what kind of browser you're using. Then we will initialize new configuration using the lab credentials that we provided for us, and use that to set up our run our task and set up our quick labs on our terminal. All right, so first of all, let's open this in a private window. It should pass in. Of course, you would log in using your quick labs credentials that's associated with the program. Okay, this lab is supposed to be free, and so if you use your credentials that are associated with the program, you should run it for free. But if you don't, then you will need to have quick labs credits to be able to run this. Okay, so if you want to run this lab, besides using the free credits, maybe you go above your quota, or soon after the program you no more have access, you can always run this lab, but you need to buy credits from quick labs to be able to do that. So a total of 100 max will be achieved. uh, we have the overview, setup and requirements: create network, create a subnets, view networks, list subnets, create firewall rules, viewing firewall rules details, create another network, create VM instances, explore connectivity, and of course, the congratulatory part of the lab to show that you've completed. Of course, as you run through the lab, you click to see that you get the points for each section of the lab. If you have any issues, once you click here, a pop-up window will present itself to tell you why you're having issues. If you look at this lab, you see it's just 45 minutes. 45 minutes gets to tell you that it's a quick lab. I prefer to do things on the terminal. They're faster. But first of all, please read through, get the details, and run your labs and run your commands in your PowerShell. Okay, so prerequisites for this lab: make sure you have Google Cloud SDK set up on your system. Please go to the documentation to get that set up. Link that to your Google Cloud platform account by running gcloud init, and I follow the prompt on the terminal. Okay, so let's start. Our lab is 45 minutes. Um, we will set the following environmental variable so that we can work with it, I believe. Oh, no, when we need to set that up. So first thing first, start the lab. The lab needs to be running before you can actually connect to it and authenticate against it. Before you can connect to it and authenticate yourself. So we have this. Okay, so okay, let's open up our console. Okay, let me take the password from here. The email should be passed in automatically. It does. Okay. Okay, right. So passing that and then hit that. This email is a temporary one. Do not select anything that helps to do with updates. that has to do with updates for this particular session, because after this session, the email will be destroyed. Okay, so I just want to set it log in successfully, um, accept all the required um, things that we need to send to. Okay, hopefully my network will be sharp enough to have us finish this in 45 minutes. All right. So you wish to see your credentials for this particular lab session, just click here. I'm still okay. All right, one moment. All right, so that's a credential. Click that out. Okay, so we accept the first one. The second one, email updates is not required. It's not necessary because this email doesn't belong to. Okay, so we are good to go. We come back here, open our PowerShell, come down here, and then do gcloud init. Okay. When it says we have three options: reinitialize, create a new configuration, switch to, and reinitialize an existing configuration. I take the second one. I give it a name, quick labs demo. All right. My browser will open and it will ask for credentials, and I'll pick from here and supply that, and then we're good to go. So let's give it a moment. Okay, let's see if there's anything we need to set in terms of zone, region, and all that. Okay. 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 Uh, okay. This will be set up for us. Okay, we install ping. I think ping is already installed on Windows, but if you were running the lab from here, you would need to install that. That will be one of the first things you do. Okay, so we have several. Log in with a new account. We'll be given the options. My previous logins, I'm logging in with a new account, so that's different. So let's pick, let me pick this one. Pick the email. Close this, come here. I'm entering a new account. Click that once more. Okay. Then do this. Go here, pick the password. Come back here and pass that in, and then go forward. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, my volume is okay. All right. Once we do that, we'll return to the bash terminal and do what we need to do. Okay. All right. So we allow. Okay, so we're authenticated. We can close this. But let me check my terminal. Okay. All right. So in our terminal, we've been asked to pick particular projects. For each Quick Labs project is usually two projects, or each Quick Lab session is usually two projects that are created, one for you and the other one to monitor the resources that you consume and to grade you accordingly. So we're taking the first option, which corresponds with the ID in our browser. So once we do that, all right, so the first thing first, we create a network using the command passed shown to us here. Here, we will create a network called LabNet and pass in a subnet mode of custom. That means we have to create our own subnets. And that's that. So we're ready to go. Let me clear the screen. Okay, so it goes gcloud compute instances create. Oh, sorry, network, not instances. Networks create. labnet. It's very important you use the names as given, because the grading system will be checking for that to be sure uh, to verify that you actually have created the resource for which you've been instructed to create. Okay, so in this first one we're creating. Okay, that's done. We check by clicking here to see if we are successful and it goes through. The next one, we create a subnet network from the previous one. Um, don't click and copy if you're using Windows. On Linux, it would go. On Windows, it may not go. So just typing it out helps you to uh, improve your um, retention of or helps you remember the commands. So labnet sub, what network are we working with? Labnet, and then region. Please do not copy and paste if you're on Windows, because Windows has a different way of the terminal has a different way of handling um, commands that spill into the next line on your terminal. Okay, so 10.0.0.0.04/28. Okay, that's the network mask. Let's check to be sure we have the name of the subnet properly. Okay, so, and then we hit enter. Okay, so after creating the network, it actually gives you examples of how you should create your firewall rules. It's necessary. That would determine how you control traffic into that particular subnet, into that particular network. Okay, the next thing is we list out the networks we've created. Okay, so clear my screen and do gcloud compute networks list. All right, so we have the default, we have labnet, it's a custom network. All right, so we go on to the next one that says we should describe the network, the one we created, I believe. Networks, describe. Okay, describe network name. uh, our network was called labnet. All right, let's see what the description will give us. Okay, the name, um, routes, the self-link ID, subnets that are associated with that particular network. Okay, so let's list the subnet. This one you can copy and paste because that doesn't spill into the next line. So Windows PowerShell should be able to handle that. Okay, so where we list out the subnet lists, okay, we have ours there, the second line, and the other ones that's associated with the defaults um, network. So create firewall rule. First firewall rule would allow access on from the internet via port 22, and also allow ICMP operations from the internet. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, let me clear the screen once more and then begin to type out. So the lab is 45 minutes. So once you see that, you know it's a very straightforward lab that shouldn't take you much. So create labnet allow internal internal, and then the network labnet action allow. You can check out other actions. We have deny. Okay, so in this case, rules, ICMP, TCP, port 22, and then where should we allow this from? Source should be source ranges should be from the internet, which is 0.0.0.0 /0. Okay, so hopefully we got that error. Okay, so let's go back and check our Let's go back to the rules. ICMP. Uh, okay, port 22. Okay, this is Windows. It's a bit different. All right, so that's that. Let's hit that. So in the case of Windows, you need to put quotation marks around um, the rules uh, argument there. On Linux, that won't be needed, but here it's needed. So let's check to see if we did well. We did. All right. So the next one is review the firewall rules. Um, gcloud compute firewall rules describe firewall rules. Which one did we create? It's called labnet allow internal. Okay. So I made a mistake. Gcloud, this should be a D. All right. So it describes our firewall rule. Ingress disabled false. Network priority, self-link name, and of course the protocols ICMP TCP ports 2222. All right, so create an ad network. I can just copy this one. Okay, so let me clear the screen and I'll paste that and copy that. I'll paste that one in there. Okay, then we create a private subnet. Okay, all right, so we do gcloud compute networks subnets create private sub network network the name private net. Okay, what other options are there? Region US Central 1, and the range for this is 10.1.0.0/28. All right. Okay. All right. So after that, we create firewall rules for that new. This time it's a deny rule. gcloud compute firewall rules creates private net deny net work private net. Okay, I hope I got that right. I hope I got that name right because I'm suspecting I didn't, but let's try. Action is deny rules. Again, cover that. ICMP TCP 20 source and the source range is from the internet again 90. Okay, so let me see my last command. Okay, so we're in order. All right, so we create that and then we check to see. Okay, that's done, and then we query for the firewall rules and sort them by network. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so we have the two firewall rules we have there at the bottom. Okay, all right, and then we go on to create VMs. All right, so let's create VMs. Create the pnet VM instance. run the following commands to create instance in the private subnet. All right, so let's resume our typing. Let's clear the screen and then you do gcloud compute instances, create pnets pm zone us central 1c machine type, okay, and one standard one, and then subnets. Subnets is private, private sub, private sub. Okay. Hopefully we typed everything right. Okay. Once that's done, okay. All right, so we've created, let's repeat the same thing, but this time the name is different and for a different subnet. So we do still do gcloud. This time around, we're not giving example to copy. Rather, we are asked to. I think that's an LNet. I hope I got that one right. Okay, and zone is US Central 1C. All right, and then machine type is N1 standard 1, and subnet is equal to lab nets sub. Okay. That should be an L. Okay. The name of the new VM, that should be an L at the front. Okay, the other one was P. I think that's an N, which when we run through. So let's run this command to check for, to look at what we did. Okay, sorting by zone. Okay, all right. So next thing we do is check. Okay, we got that right. Then we will do the next thing of pinging. Already we got our 100 max, so we continue to get to the end. All right, so ping the external IP addresses, ping the external IP address of the VM instance to determine if you can reach from the public. Okay, so let's look back here. I do ping. The public IP for the first one is 34173.52.171. Okay. Okay. Timed out. All right. Kill that. Let's do for the second one. I'm wondering, wasn't that okay? LabNet sub. Okay. Let's do for this. Okay, sorry. Okay, I did that. Let's check this one out. 192.12.75. Okay, timed out. That's not right. This should work. Okay, but the other one shouldn't work. What did we do wrongly? What did we do wrongly? Okay, let's go back up. Okay, let's go to this firewall rules and see. Firewall rules list sort by network. All right, let me do this. Clear this and then Okay, ICMP TCP port 22. Okay, this shouldn't go, the private net, but this other one should go. Network is this. Okay, TCP port 22. Why isn't this one going? It's okay. Okay, let's look at the VM instance. This is private. The subnet is private. That's expected. The second one, the subnet is labnet sub. Let me quickly look at the command to create the second one. Okay. Okay. Net VM. C machine type this subnet labnet sub. Huh. Okay. Subnet labnet sub. Okay, I think we did a mistake somewhere. Let me go back. Let's go back up. If you want to create a private deny. Okay. Private deny. That's in. Let's go to. Okay. Let's go up. Let's go up and see this other role we created. Labnet allow internal network lab. Okay. I think let's go back here. Let's see something. There's a reason why weren't able to. Okay. We're pinging the external IP, so okay. Okay, so ping 34.173.52.171. All right, so that was good to go. I think I made a mistake with the IP address. Let me check it out again. My first ping. Okay, let me go back. And it's the one I did. And then if I do for ping, that's for the private. Okay, can't find it, but it works. Okay, so if you do this, it pings and it goes successfully because the firewall rule says it should. Okay, so that's that for that. We'll end our lab here. We'll close this, end the lab here, and submit. Leave a rating if you want to. The lab was quite easy, and of course, when that is done, uh, let's clean out our credentials, configurations list. Okay, so look at the lists. We have Quick Labs demo. We want to get rid of Quick Labs demo, but first of all, let's enable one. Configurations, activate. I think that's what we're supposed to do, and then pass in a name. Let me do connect system ng. Oh, error. Okay, I think the name is wrong. Connect system. Okay, systems. Okay, so that's activated. Then I think remove is the command to use, and then remove the quick labs. That for the quick labs demo. Uh, okay, remove delete. Then the keyword is delete there. So let's change that. Delete. All right. Yes, we want to delete. And then when we check our configurations once more, that one is gone. And that is what you ought to do. So thank you for watching. Leave your likes and any comments that you may have. Bye-bye.